So we've just wrapped up a day riding the Aprilia Caponord 1200, and I gotta say, it's quite the motorcycle. I might even call it a Ducati Multistrada, not a killer, but it's pretty darn good. It's pretty fascinating what this bike can do. I mean, the 1200 engine is powerful, it's smooth, it's crisp, it's everything you want in this kind of a V-twin big displacement engine. I wasn't left for needing power at all. The three riding modes, they're pretty good. The sport mode is, aggressive, but not too much so. The touring mode is a nice, progressive application of throttle, but it still gives you the full power, which is nice. And then raid mode, of course, cuts off the power like you'd expect. Moving back from there, I really just like the ergonomics of the bike. I can maneuver the bike around like I want. The bars are wide, gives you good leverage. It's just a really comfortable machine. The windscreen is not electronic, but it's got these adjusters, so you can do it manually. The wind protection's okay for a small screen like that. It's not bad. You got the luggage space behind me, which is always nice. The dash display, it integrates pretty nicely. It's pretty easy to manipulate with a couple of instructions here and there, but once you kind of figure it out, it's like second nature. It's really easy to manipulate, really easy to go through. So one of the things I wasn't too fond of was the cruise control. The button for it's positioned really high on the right twist grip, on the right switch gear, I should say, and my thumb kind of had a hard time reaching for it, and I had to use my left hand to push the button. So the way it operates is when you're rolling at speed above 60 miles an hour and third gear or higher, I had to reach over with my left hand, press the cruise control button, wait for the flashing light to come on, then press it again to set your speed. And once your speed is set, you can't accelerate or decelerate and still maintain your cruise control. You gotta either slow down or speed up and then do the whole process over again. It's kind of cumbersome, especially when other manufacturers have a really integrated design already integrated in their bike. But really, the talking point here is the suspension. It's got the ADD, the Aprilia Dynamic Suspension, and it's really good. It's not just a marketing gimmick, it really works. You can set it in 3 different positions. You've got, manual positions that you can just press a button and it'll adjust for soft or hard, or 1 passenger with no bags, or 2 passengers full of bags. But the really cool part is the automatic feature, which adjusts everything on its own. And the roads here that we rode on were mostly smooth, but there were a couple of times where there were some ridges in the road, and I rolled over with it with the automatic setting, and it felt like I was on glass. A really good example of this were the rumble strips on the side of the road to keep drivers awake that are tired. I deliberately ran over those to see if I could feel anything, and even though I knew I was running over those rumble strips, the bike hardly told me anything. I couldn't feel a thing. It felt like I was just on smooth road. It was really cool. But also too, when you're going at speed and you get off the throttle and get hard on the brakes, it'll automatically firm up the compression in the front and the rebound in the rear to give you a nice stable platform to corner with. It's a really, really intricate system. And so the quick and dirty way it operates is the front has a sensor on the fork that measures the air pressure. And the ECU combines that with the different settings of the shock, like there's a potentiometer to figure out up and down the position of the spring. So the ECU combines all that with your throttle, your road speed, and a bunch of other settings to figure out the optimum setting for the conditions you're in, whether you're just cruising on the freeway or cornering in the canyons. It does a really good job figuring out what you need for that moment. I never had any problems touching stuff down. Some of the guys here were touching down the center stand or sometimes even the exhaust. That wasn't a problem with me. All in all, this Caponord 1200 is quite the contender, and for just a hair over 15 grand, it's a fantastic bargain that is gonna be hard to beat. So I can't wait till we put this together with the Ducati and the BMW and anything else out there to really give it a good test and see how it goes. So I really think this Aprilia might just be the new king of sport tours.